Today I'm going to be talking about something that I know is so painful and confusing for so many of you, and that is why men pull away. Because 1 minute, everything seems perfect. He's texting you constantly, he's making plans, he's giving you all of his attention, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, he goes cold. He stops texting as much, he cancels plans, and you're left wondering what you did wrong. So if this is something that you're currently going through or something that you've experienced in the past, then this episode is definitely for you. Today we're going to explore the brutal truth about why he pulled away, and more importantly, how you can flip the situation and get your power back. First things first, I need you to understand something really important. When a man pulls away, your first instinct is probably to blame yourself, right? You start overthinking everything, you're replaying every conversation in your head, wondering if you said something wrong, if you were too clingy, if you weren't interesting enough, and I get it. I've been there too. But here's the brutal truth that you need to hear. 9 times out of 10, when a man pulls away, it has absolutely nothing to do with you. I know that might be hard to believe, especially when you're in the middle of it and you're feeling so rejected and confused. But the reality is that men pull away for their own reasons, and those reasons usually have everything to do with them and nothing to do with you. So let's break down some of the most common reasons why men pull away, and then we'll talk about how you can flip the situation and take back your power. The first reason why men pull away is because things got too real too fast. In the beginning stages of dating, everything is exciting and fun and new. There's no pressure, no expectations, and it's easy for him to show up and be present. But as things start to get more serious, as feelings start to develop, suddenly the relationship becomes real, and for some men, that can be scary. Maybe he's not ready for a serious relationship. Maybe he has commitment issues. Maybe he's dealing with something in his personal life that he hasn't told you about. Whatever the reason, when things start to feel too real, some men will pull away because they need space to process their feelings and figure out what they actually want. And I know this is frustrating because from your perspective, everything was going so well. But you have to understand that just because he's pulling away doesn't mean he doesn't like you. It might just mean that he needs time to work through his own stuff. The second reason why men pull away is because he got what he wanted. And I'm going to be really honest with you here because this is the harsh reality that nobody wants to admit. Some men pull away because they were never serious about you to begin with. They were only interested in the chase, the attention, or maybe even just physical intimacy. And once they got what they wanted, they lost interest. I know this is painful to hear, but it's important that you understand this, because too many women waste their time trying to win back a man who was never actually invested in them in the first place. If a man pulls away immediately after getting what he wanted, that's not someone who values you. That's someone who was using you, and you deserve so much better than that. The third reason why men pull away is because you made yourself too available. And I know this sounds counterintuitive because we're taught that if we like someone, we should show them, right? We should be available, we should respond to their texts right away, we should make time for them whenever they want to see us. But here's the thing, when you make yourself too available, when you drop everything for him, when you're always the one reaching out first, you remove the chase. And I hate to say it, but men love the chase. They love the challenge. They love the idea of pursuing someone who has their own life, their own goals, their own standards. But when you're always available, when you're always waiting around for him, there's no challenge anymore. There's no chase. And as a result, he loses interest. I remember when I was dating this guy, and in the beginning, I was so excited that he was interested in me that I made myself completely available to him. If he texted me, I would respond within seconds. If he wanted to hang out, I would cancel my plans. I was always the one initiating conversation, always the one trying to make plans. And guess what happened? He pulled away. Because I removed the challenge. I made it too easy for him. The fourth reason why men pull away is because they're testing you. And I know this sounds manipulative, but it's true. Some men will pull away to see how you react. They want to see if you're going to chase them, if you're going to blow up their phone, if you're going to become needy and insecure. Or they want to see if you're going to maintain your composure, keep living your life, and show them that you don't need them to be happy. And this is actually a really important test because the way that you react to him pulling away will determine whether he comes back or not. If you chase him, if you become desperate, if you start begging for his attention, you fail the test. But if you give him space, if you focus on yourself, if you show him that you're perfectly fine without him, you pass the test. And more often than not, he'll come running back. Now let's talk about how to flip the situation when a man pulls away, because this is where you take back your power. The first thing that you need to do is stop chasing him. I know this is hard, especially when every fiber of your being wants to reach out to him and ask him what's wrong. But trust me, chasing him is the worst thing that you can do. Because when you chase him, you're showing him that you're desperate. You're showing him that you need him more than he needs you, and that is not attractive. So instead of chasing him, you need to give him space. You need to pull back and focus on yourself. And I know this is scary because you're afraid that if you don't chase him, you'll lose him. But here's the reality. If he's going to come back, he's going to come back because you gave him space and allowed him to miss you. And if he doesn't come back, then he was never meant for you in the first place. The second thing that you need to do is focus on your own life. And I mean really focus on your own life. Don't sit around waiting for him to text you. Don't check your phone every 5 minutes hoping to see his name. Don't put your life on hold for someone who isn't even showing up for you. Instead, go out with your friends, work on your goals, pursue your hobbies, take yourself on dates, do things that make you happy. Because when you do this, when you genuinely start living your best life and stop obsessing over him, 2 things happen. First, you become magnetic again. You become the happy, confident, independent woman that he was attracted to in the first place. And second, you start to realize that you don't actually need him to be happy. You start to realize that your happiness comes from within, not from someone else's attention. The third thing that you need to do is maintain your standards. And this is so important because too many women lower their standards when a man pulls away. They start accepting breadcrumbs of attention. They start tolerating behavior that they would never normally tolerate. They convince themselves that something is better than nothing, but that is not true. If a man pulls away and then comes back, you need to make sure that he's actually showing up for you. You need to make sure that he's putting in effort, that he's being consistent, that he's treating you with the respect that you deserve. Because if he pulled away once, he can pull away again. And you need to make it clear that you're not going to accept that kind of behavior. The fourth thing that you need to do is evaluate whether this is even someone worth pursuing. And I think this is something that a lot of women don't do. They get so caught up in trying to get him back that they don't even stop to ask themselves if he's actually worth it. Because here's the thing. A man who truly values you, a man who is genuinely interested in you, a man who sees your worth will not pull away. He will show up consistently. He will communicate with you. He will make you feel secure in the relationship. So if he pulled away, you need to ask yourself why, and you need to be honest with yourself about whether this is a pattern of behavior or just a one-time thing. Because if he's someone who consistently pulls away, who plays hot and cold, who makes you feel anxious and insecure, then maybe he's not the right person for you. Maybe you deserve someone who is going to show up for you consistently and make you feel valued. And finally, I want you to remember this. When a man pulls away, it's not a reflection of your worth. It's not a sign that you're not good enough or not pretty enough or not interesting enough. It's simply a sign that he's not ready, he's not right, or he's not worthy of you. And instead of chasing him and trying to convince him that you're worth it, you need to believe that you're worth it and find someone who already knows that. So with that said, stop chasing men who pull away. Stop making yourself small for someone who can't see your value. Stop accepting breadcrumbs when you deserve the whole damn meal. Instead, focus on yourself. Build a life that you love. Set high standards and stick to them. And trust that the right person will show up consistently and prove that they deserve to be in your life. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. I know this topic can be really painful, but I hope that this gave you some clarity and some encouragement to take back your power. I hope to see you in the next one, and in the meantime, as always, stay hot. Bye.